Hi guys, this is Andrei from Motorul.ro, and today I want to show you the newest technology from Honda called e-clutch. Currently it is available only on the 650 range, on the CB650 Air and the CBR, but in the future I think that we are going to see it more probably on the Transalp and other cheap bikes, let's say, not on the Africa Twin that already has DCT. That's why what I have here right next to me, it's a CB650R with the e-clutch system, a strange bulge over the right side of the engine, and we are going to immediately deep dive inside this box to understand how it functions, how it works, what it is good for, so in the end we can draw some conclusion if the system really brings some benefits or is just a gimmick from Honda trying to get more money from us. So for an extra 600 euros, or at least here in Romania this is the price for the e-clutch, you will get a system that will let you ride the motorcycle without engaging the clutch lever at all. Something like a quick shifter, right? Exactly, but with more. And first of all, the most important thing about this system is that it makes it impossible to stall the engine. Even if you are riding in the first gear at a very slow speed, something like 2 or 3 kilometers, even if you stop to a standstill with the first gear selected, the engine will not stall. And I think this is the big part, the big game changer for the beginners. This is basically an electronic assisted clutch system that lets you shift the gears without using the clutch lever. So I would say it's more than a quick shifter, but definitely it's not a DCT system because it's not an automation transmission system. You still have to change by yourself the gear. The only thing that you get to do is not touch the clutch lever. So first of all, what you have to know is that this is an electronic system that has two servo motors here. It is connected to a so-called motor control unit that reads the speed of the motorcycle, the rotation speed of the wheels and the position of the throttle, and based on this information decides to engage or disengage the clutch plates. And also, if you are going very slow, it will feather a little bit the clutch so that you can use it as a slippery clutch, let's say, and go very slow at speeds of 2 and 3 kilometers per hour. This is not a DCT, as I said, because it doesn't change by itself. But if you go like fifth or sixth gear and go very slow, it will pull in the clutch automatically and it will not stall the engine. This is very interesting and I think it's useful for the beginners. This takes all the fear from stalling the engine into an intersection. When you are a beginner, you are very stressed about going in the first gear and not taking the clutch properly. But now I think it's time to see how it works in traffic, and afterwards we'll come back with the conclusions. Okay, so first you start the engine. When you are starting the engine, you will hear electric sound on the right side, activating the e-clutch system. After you start the engine, you see now the motorcycle is in neutral. You can move it. And if you go in the first, hop, and if you're going very slow like this, still the engine is working.
The thing that I like best about this system is when I am riding in the city and it's very crowded. When I am filtering the traffic, when it's put in first gear, it feels like a scooter. It engages the clutch very smooth and it's easy to balance the bike. Also, when you are giving it the beans, the system feels like a very sporty quick shifter. I am very curious how reliable this system would be, considering that it manages to feather the clutch at all wrong speeds in order not to stall the engine. I guess we will find out in the following years. But now it's time to share with you my conclusions. Before that, don't forget to like our video if you enjoyed it so far and maybe you found out something interesting about this system. And also don't forget to subscribe to our channel to be updated with all the news from the moto world.
Well, I would say this is a great system for beginners because when you are starting to ride a motorcycle, when you just passed the exam, you have a fear of stalling the engine when you are approaching intersection, or you are at a traffic stoplight and it turns into green and you want to go fast from there without over throttling the acceleration or without even going under the RPMs and stalling the engine. So using this system, you don't have any fear about this, and still you can also use the manual clutch lever if you want to. The second beneficial thing about this is that it reduces the fatigue related to riding a motorcycle, especially in the city, because when you are riding the city you have to shift the gears quite a lot, and in regards to a quick shifter, this works very well at low speeds, up and down shifts as well. It doesn't budge. Anytime it works fine, it works like a robot. Plus it has a sportiness, it adds some dynamism and fluidity to your riding style, because when you are going hard on the throttle, it acts like a very sporty quick shifter. The shifting is silky smooth. I would say that downshifting is a little bit abrupt, even though you have some levels to decide the sensibility of the e-clutch system. You can go from hard, medium to soft. Still in the soft section for the downshift, it is a little bit rough. Of course, the pure riders, the old-timers will resist to this change, because this is another electronic add-on that might bring some risk of getting faulty. Every time when you have some electronics added on the motorcycle, there is this risk. And lately, I've been experiencing a lot of issues with the new bikes that I tested, and have all this great technology gizmo things. Sometimes they fail, and it's a pity that you have to go through the service just for a simple thing like a software upgrade, or for some fuse that got short circuit. And also the pure rider will say that this will take away the pleasure of real riding, just like ABS and traction control did. But actually, for the new generation of riders that are currently coming on to motorcycling, this is the reality that they were born in. I mean, they are not used to control with the wrist, the traction control. They are not used feeling the brakes without locking the wheels. This is their reality. So I think it's kind of irrelevant if people say that the new generation will not know completely the art of motorcycle riding, because this is their world. For sure, for dinosaurs, even for me, this might be like a little gizmo.